Hello, welcome, and I hope you're all doing very well. Welcome to the Fey Groves. I am Cress Nether. Welcome here on twitch.tv/nethervt. And today we have another episode of Midnight Storm, a Scion story for you. Unfortunately, Michinho can't make it, so we are going to be playing with the cat crew. And I'm very excited to play Sarne Tegaskin Chingis again. And I hope that everyone else is excited to play their characters. It is a bit of a departure from fighting Koshé the Deathless, but I'm sure that we're going to have a lot of fun with this as well. Let me just bring up the group here. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hope you're all doing well.
Mm-hmm.
Let me pause the music here and unmute Boundary. And I'm going to go...
If anyone hears a fan in my background, too fucking bad.
Likewise, I'm going to get myself a pint of water. Because
Go for it.
You gotta hydrate.
Yes.
I have 2 nondescript colas.
Because we're not a sponsored stream, so they're going to stay nondescript, darn it.
I do have a very descript cat next to me.
Oh, thank you, Alpine.
Yes, the cat is descript because we are paying the cat tax. Also, thank you, Alpine. That's really sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, is Alpine feeling a little bit snoozy?
I will say, though, I am sick of having to justify feeling too hot to, and it is always, Americans.
It's any consolation, which it probably won't be. It's a specific subset of Americans, because Americans constantly bitch at each other over weather stuff like that.
Yep.
Like,
I believe
it
someone...
feels hot. I don't need to justify that to you. Shut up.
Yup.
Yeah, someone posted a video about that as like, oh my god, just put on the AC. What did you say? No, nothing. The people that complain about us complaining about the heat often do not understand that air conditioning is not a very common thing.
It's not even like just that. It's... If I say I feel hot, I shouldn't have to justify that.
Yeah.
Well,
that's absolutely fair.
It's always someone from Texas. It's always someone from Texas.
And it's someone from the U.S. South. It doesn't matter if it's Texas, Florida, Nolans. It doesn't matter necessarily where it is. It's the U.S. South, because the U.S. North does the exact same thing. When it gets cold to people from there.
I apologize.
Sick of the dance of having to pull out the fucking numbers to justify being hot.
I hope that the people who complain about such matters reconsider their own civil engineering when they are dealing with a cold snap.
Yes.
As someone who lived at one of the hottest places in this country for a time, I will say we had slight flooding one year, and it shut down the entire city.
Ugh. Yeah.
And when I say slight, like, it was probably like mid-calf length water, still perfectly manageable. Services were shut down, power was out, people were losing their minds.
I mean, flooding to calf height is like, even if it doesn't pull you along, it is still terrifying.
Right. And I would still, funny enough, I would still meet people where I would be like, man, it is 109 today. And the first response would always be, you call that hot? Like, sir.
Yes, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, there are literally people who are baking cookies on their dash and cooking eggs on the sidewalk. What do you call it?
At least it wasn't the Great Molasses Flood.
Yeah.
God. So much molasses.
That was terrifying. Like, reading about that is... Ugh. And yeah, Alpine mentions I'm on team doesn't have a truck and cannot function in that level of water.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is perfectly valid. I had a Kia.
But yeah, tomorrow is going to be slightly less warm, and hopefully there will be thunderstorms.
I was promised thunderstorms in the last season. I didn't hear
promised
a single rumble.
I was promised thunderstorms.
So mad.
2.5 weeks ago, I did not get them. In fact, instead, I got an hour of IBS toilet setting.
Yay.
Oh.
Oh no, the Boston Molassacre.
Oh
no.
Boston Molassacre! No! No!
That is terrible and so specifically suited.
Go sit in the corner!
But yeah, tomorrow I hopefully will be playing D&D at home, and it still depends on whether or not folks will be showing up given the weather.
Well, my hope is it's a good day regardless.
I hope so too.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm looking at stream. My captions are not showing up.
Your captions are not. Your captions are showing up at the wrong place. My bad.
It's like, wow, Rovar is really chatty for someone who isn't saying much.
Indeed. My bad.
His captions are showing up in your thing.
Okay, this is a terrible thing. I have the request for RoboPirate to change his username by the start of Hyrule Chronicles 2.
So what?
Maybe your Twitch handle.
I have a Twitch handle.
You do? But why?
Why does that have to change?
Because I keep messing up Red Ghost and RoboPirate because they start with R's, and I don't know why else.
I have an easy fix. I have an easy fix for this. Hold on.
Oh no.
Okay.
I'm not sure how much I can do about this on Twitch, but I can do something about it in the Discord. Hold on.
Okay.
I mean, Red Ghost isn't in the Hyrule
Yeah,
Chronicles.
he's not in Hyrule Chronicles 2.
That's true.
That I know of.
That is very true.
I've been here the whole time.
You could have helped us out with all those dramatic battles.
Yeah.
You're right. I could have.
Why didn't you?
Comedy? Hero's Journey? Something arbitrary about you building your own strength?
You have changed your name.
And now it's impossible for me to be confused. That's not true. That is never true.
I still need to adjust it in OBS, and that's where the issue arises. But yeah, that's my bad. Last time on Midnight Storm, the Cat Crew.
Yeah. Anyway, game time.
All right. Let me pull up my proper windows. Okay, cool. Yeah, last time on Midnight Storm, the Cat Crew, people met with a foreign dignitary, technically, and had a very lovely
Mhm.
carriage ride before one of them went to Mongolia and dealt with horses.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah,
Can't believe Sernai hated the carriage ride so much that she went all the way to Mongolia.
Hold on.
and dealt with
hold
more
on,
horses.
Hold on. Two points of order.
Uh-huh.
Technically a foreign dignitary?
No, she's the Mongolian
You
ambassador.
met with my my mom, who technically is
Yeah.
also the foreign dignitary, a foreign dignitary of Mongolia living in Brussels. So yes.
She's a foreign dignitary. There's not technical about it.
Yeah, you used the word technical.
Oh no, I technically met. They did more than just meet.
Oh,
We had dinner and other
okay.
things.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. Alright. Also, not only did Sarde hate the carriage ride so much she went to Mongolia,
Oh no.
Sarde was so embarrassed finally admitting that we are friends. She went to Mongolia.
You ran away to Mongolia.
I have been holding on to that for so long.
About 2 months, according to time frames.
Yep.
Alvarez,
I think
I
there was
have
like
to know something here.
So I think there was about a 50-50 chance that those were actually horses and not just transfigured people.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't want to flip that coin. I'm okay living in ignorance.
yeah, same.
I choose not to question this.
Alvarez, how good is the internet on Uncle's ranch?
Not great.
Well,
It's a ranch.
yeah.
Text only then, okay.
So
Why do you ask?
the reason I ask is because Sarnay has been trying desperately to get a rematch in with Wade for generic shooter 2. And just the lag is killing her.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know if you've
maybe
seen...
it helps.
Maybe. I don't know. Hold on. Excuse me.
Zoom tight.
I don't know if you've seen the short form videos of people acting out things where it's just like different layers of ping.
Yep.
And like it's like up to like 100 ping, it's okay, and then it starts getting above like 100 ping, and like they're doing like workouts, and like the bar shifts before they shift or something like that.
Yeah.
Those ones always get me.
He's
Yeah,
not going
that's
to be nice
pretty
about
much
it.
that is pretty much how it goes.
Okay. But yeah, it is hard work, muscles that you've that don't know how often you work them out because you do ride a motorcycle and all that but there's a lot of aching from taking care of a lot of the horses. But at least for the moment, Goodzer has accepted your tribute, and you are free to go.
Oh. With that, as Sarnay packs her bags, there is an evening where she just goes into the stables for a moment, like the previous days. But this time, the brushing is a little more tender, a little more drawn out, as she is going to miss these horses. But with that, I think she says goodbye to Uncle Gunker and goes and find probably it's a charter flight. to get back home.
You were able to do so. So while Sarne was in Mongolia for a few days, what was everyone else up to?
What were the
Okay.
things we still had to like work on?
There's a CEO who's planning on traveling in after Sarne returns in a few days' time. They're currently in a mountain. I don't remember which mountain, but they're at a mountain. Home is somewhere in somewhere near Poland, I think. If I recall correctly, I don't know. It's been like 3 months.
Then we're not yet.
Yeah, nearby,
just
but
like-
not relatively nearby. But yeah.
Go
ahead.
I would just like it noted. Wade has been grounded the past week.
Oh,
Okay.
For not sleeping.
No, well, that didn't help, but it was more because someone in his detail narked to Mom about that drink he had.
oh no!
Uh-oh.
Turns out they're not as dependable as you thought.
Well, they work for Wade, but before they work for Wade, they work for Wade's parents.
So they don't work for Wade.
At the end of the
Boss
day,
is boss is boss.
Mhm.
yeah, at the end of the day, they are the ones that are signing their paychecks.
Mhm.
But yeah, there was that. You guys have mostly freed, if not completely freed, all of the individuals there. At least all the individuals nearby of the influence, as far as you can tell. That's what I remember, because that's the plot stuff. I don't remember things that other people are working on.
No, I was mostly asking about plot stuff so I could like do researchy
do
type
I-
stuff in relation to
Yeah,
that.
sure.
I'm assuming
Uh,
I got rid of this bruised condition.
Yes, by now you would have gotten rid of the bruise condition, definitely.
And you said that the paying tribute condition has ceased.
Correct. For now.
Okay. For now. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I was
I'll be
gonna,
back on the ranch.
I was gonna see if I could use lawyer team to help uh find out more about what CEO is going to be doing when they show up, and if there's any avenues we can use to try and get close to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead. That's going to be a brain check. You're not monitoring her movement.
I believe Wade was doing something from a similar end, but more into Starlight Solutions as a whole, using Carmichael Industries.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm specifically looking into the boss.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say, at least for the moment, because taking a look at the skills, I don't see anything that's on there. So what we'll do is we'll make a lawyer friends roll, which would be 2 plus mental. Oh, you can roll that. That's neat.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, that'll be resolved for you because it's your
Mm.
it's your big mental stat.
Don't have anything else. Persuade individuals to get information.
That is an excellent question because while you are facing an individual, it's figuring out the different aspects of that. I love it.
They have access legal loopholes. I don't know if that will help us trying to find an avenue to like get close to them.
Yeah.
I think that's all the enhancement I can get.
They don't have scale yet.
5
5
successes.
successes. Not bad.
That's not
Not
bad.
bad.
Thank you, Tens.
So, to start with the lawyerly aspect of it, tracking her movements is interesting because the last that you checked on her, she was going to go back to Mexico City shortly when she left. But since then, it appears as though the flight itinerary has changed. She's planning on making a stop somewhere in New York after leaving, which will be about 3 to 4 days, or like two to 4 days after Sine returns. Um, but other than that, if you feel confident in things, there will be some kind of high-end schmoozing type of gala at the Manor Space. I believe would be the day before she will leave.
Okay.
I don't remember. Oh God, I missed
So
my notes.
I will send that information to Carden and not Carden, Wade and Sane, because they have access to things like that.
Mhm.
Oh, if she's going to New York, oh, home field advantage.
Yeah, do also mention like just going to New York. So if you can get us there, maybe we could do something there. But I'm less familiar with that place.
I think
Right,
at a
right.
certain point, you get because
It is all text, so it should be easier for you to
from the
look at.
moment that Sarne left,
Mhm.
you have not received a blip from her.
That's fine. You can read it when you get back.
And then suddenly, at a certain moment,
Mm-hmm.
you get a wall of just continuous texts like, hey, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. Like, here's
Oh, no,
pictures
you
of
finally
the
got
horses
signal.
that I've been caring for. And then finally, the last thing is, I'm above Brussels.
Quick question with that
Is that
flurry of text. Were there
Kip
photos
blinks
of all the
twice and
horses?
just looks up into the air.
There were, in fact, photos of all the horses, yes.
Okay. Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah, Kip will just look upwards at that, like what?
Wait, you said that you also wanted to do something similar? Is there anything that you are addressing or going about it in a different way to find out more information?
In all honesty, everything Kit figured out would be what I'd be looking into anyway.
So
Nothing
maybe
specific?
instead you could look into ways to get into either that gala or wherever they're going in New York.
I mean, getting into wherever they are in New York is fine. The gala, on the other hand,
Hmm.
I was about to say I'm Wade Car. I was gonna say I'm Wade fucking Carmichael, and then I look at the sheet, and I
You
only
can walk
have
up to them
fame
and
one.
say, "Don't you know who I am?"
I just look at the sheet and I have fame one. I'm like, no, 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 not there yet. But
You
yeah,
do
I
have the
guess
wealth for it.
You
I'm
also told your family to do an underground hostile takeover of this company, so maybe your fame would work against you here.
yeah. Also, did we go through with that? I thought I suggested it, and you told me like, oh yeah,
I
this
told you
is
it'd take a while, but
yeah. I just don't remember if we actually or if I actually went on the follow through for that, or if I just suggested it and you told me how it would go.
as far as I'm aware, that's what it was, and I didn't hear anything to the contrary, so I've been under the
All right, fair
assumption
enough.
that something like that's been trying to happen.
I will accept this. Um, but yeah, I guess I can look for a way to get us into that gala. Me and Sarne are getting in. It's probably going to be a lot easier than getting Kit in, and
Hmm.
being honest, Olivia will find a way in.
I don't think we can stop.
I don't think we could stop her from getting in.
They literally can't! Yay!
Every day, Wade has become more accustomed to this nightmare.
She has a name.
She is his friend.
She might be behind you right now.
That is something he is constantly worried about. yeah, I guess we're doing that, trying to figure out a way into this gala, and honestly, trying to figure out what she's trying to accomplish here. Like, is this just like advertising for her meet and greet, or is there like a purpose to this?
And it feels more
I'm trying to.
social.
I'm trying to figure out her not methods, end goal for what she's doing here in New York.
Motives.
Motives. Thank you. You said empathy and social.
I would allow integrity because you don't have anything in empathy.
Thank you.
Oh,
Yes, I'm
yeah.
rich. Um,
Wow. Okay.
All right.
He said sense, or because he said like see motive, and I was just about to be like, okay, so I'll take your perception stat and make a secret roll. No.
And nothing there can help me. Wait.
I will say.
Nope, nothing there can help me.
I will say, you do have a decent dice pool here. I know you're looking at your stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I will say this is a difficulty 4 roll.
Ooh.
Look,
And I'm all out of legend.
you have momentum.
Oh shit! You can fate bind.
How am I gonna
Right.
fate bind? We don't know anyone.
That hasn't
some-
stopped
make
us
s-
before. I would make
make-
somebody.
Make
That's fair.
somebody up.
You also have a retinue of retainers following you everywhere. They're just unnamed right now.
I was gonna make them bigger.
Make one of
Could-
your retainers matter.
Yeah.
You could get like a contact within the companies that you're looking into.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. You know what? I'll go ahead. We can work on that later. I'll take a fate binding to increase my legend.
So I understand that you want to work on that later.
Uh-huh.
However,
Uh-huh.
I need to know what kind of fate binding you're doing.
Yeah, that's the thing. I
Yeah.
don't have the book. Let me get the book.
Where's the list
I'm
again?
pulling it up
which,
right
which
now.
one?
The list starts on Hero, page 198.
198.
198.
Do not look at Imperiled. That is a condition for them.
Gotcha.
They started with Apprentice.
Apprentice, Balm, Boon Companion, Canary or Martyr,
Mm-hmm.
Jinx, Nemesis, Paramour, Rival, Traitor, Worshipper or Unrequited Paramour.
I'm assuming we still have the rule of no unrequited.
Hmm.
Alvarez.
We need to change how Compel works on that one because something just does not fit right with making somebody yandere to me. So
Yeah.
Worshipper is one thing because it's kind of like I am trying to sit here and do this for the better of whatever, but I don't like the yandere aspect of unrequited personally.
It could be the Canary, where it's like the company knows that you've been in contact with them.
You could do that. Yeah, because none of these other ones really fit. But yeah, I think we're gonna go with the canary here.
That's interesting. Okay.
Just have somebody. So I would like it noted, from the very little I know about how business works, corporate espionage is illegal, at least in
Mhm.
America.
Yeah, it is
so-
in most places.
Yeah. So the fact that Wade has somebody inside this business that his family's company is currently trying to acquire through legitimate means, and they are kicking up information to
Hey.
him for something.
You think that no businesses are doing things that are illegal?
Oh no, I'm just saying with a canary, it's a lot more likely he can get caught.
Eh.
Punishment for corporate espionage. Okay, so there actually is the threat of jail time. I was about to say, if it's only a fine, it's not a fucking law.
Yeah,
No. You can, like,
you can. It's what you can't go to jail for it because you cause problems for a company.
I think you can go to like federal prison.
It's for 15
Yep.
years. Up to 15 years. But yeah. Anywho.
But yeah. So I'll go ahead and take a fate binding there.
You can
So-
list that in powers at the very bottom.
Powers, very bottom.
Fate bindings.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
I'm just
We
gonna
gotta make
put
a
canary
canary.
for now.
Yeah.
Is this the first fate binding we've had for Cat Crew?
Yes.
Possibly, yeah.
Oh boy, a lot of pressure. All right.
It's the first canary fate binding we've had too.
I'm gonna invoke a kidding. I would not immediately use
Wow.
that here. All right, I'm gonna roll.
Okay. So you mentioned legend. Did you want to do that for a title? Is that what you're doing?
The only title I have, I don't think would qualify. Maybe. You know what? Yeah.
Let's take a look at your title. Traits between ambition and success.
It's ambitious.
It is. I'm more liberal with this than I am with like running Chronicles games because those are suffering for the sake of suffering. So yeah, I'll allow it. Why not? So that'd be scale 1 because these guys are
Scale 1.
new heroes in comparison. And then integrity social.
Let's go.
6 successes. Excellent.
Very nice.
So that legend is gone because you've used the thing.
I'd like to take another fate. I'm kidding.
You can't.
Yeah, I know.
For multiple reasons.
Yeah, his grounding may actually need to happen again at some point.
Okay. So, with 6 successes, we're looking for motivations. Right? Kind of trying to figure out what her reasons for going to New York and for the reasons for throwing the gala are. It is mostly schmoozing for the gala, to be honest. It is a lot of fellow business people and foreign dignitaries are there probably to get more of a foothold to put out more places, similar to what happened that you guys stopped in Brussels. The New York thing is harder to tell. The shift happened. The timeline's going to be messed up because, like I said, it's been 2-3 months since we played with Cat Crew, much less the other stuff with Cat Crew. But
It's been a plot amount of time. Don't worry about it.
It has been a plot amount of time, and a plot amount of time later or earlier. There was around the time that you visited that last individual in the hospital was when the itinerary changed. But there doesn't seem to be many major appointments or anything to kind of get on, to kind of pull from. Taking a look at it, there is, if I'm recalling Wade's stuff correctly, there is a space near Harlem that she will be staying in. But that is about all that you can really find without addressing aspects of her directly.
Oh, that's all I need if she's going to be near Harlem.
Yay.
Okay. So I will ask the group, what's our end game here? Are we trying to Sabotage, or are we just learning?
Sarne would be happy with sabotage.
Well, we know from other contacts that she's the main person behind this push towards an apocalypse, right?
Hmm.
I'm sorry, are you asking me or are you asking the storyteller?
Yes.
I believe so,
Storyteller, do we
right?
know that?
Like she's the head of the board, isn't she?
I'm
Or
gonna
is
say
she just
that.
like the
Yeah, I am. I'm figuring out a way to phrase it.
Okay. I just needed any kind of response.
Yeah, I thought we lost you there for a second.
She is the highest ranking official in Starlight Solutions.
So she kind of has to know something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Otherwise, she would be asking why they're going to this particular place and doing all this stuff. Like, what reasons are they doing all of this?
Right.
So we need to just get close enough to confirm that she is aware, basically.
Okay.
And then, once we know that, we can do stuff.
So we're looking to confirm information.
Hmm.
Okay. Hmm. So say we get into the gala,
Hmm.
how do we go about doing that? Like, do we interact with her directly? Do we snoop around?
Could do a mix of both.
Hmm. My only issue with confronting her directly is she depending on how she works, she may learn just as much about us as we will about her.
Hmm.
That being said, I'm not opposed to it. It's just something we got to be aware of. The risk could be worse if we're snooping and get caught.
Anyone have her name in their notes? Just out of curiosity.
Looking.
Because I have
I
not
have
been able
notes.
to figure out how to get my notes. So
The last note I took was the name of Sarne's mom. Wait. Janine Zimmerman.
yeah, there we go. Okay.
Hmm.
Do I have Obsidian on
Thank
here?
you.
Shit. Alright.
At the very least, I try to track people of importance.
Mhm. Another thing we could do is just observe what she's doing there, because maybe she's trying to get more people involved in her plan.
Alvrinch, just to reconfirm, I have her in my notes as the CEO of Starlight Solutions.
Yes.
Starlight Solutions is a publicly traded company, right? Like there is a board of directors.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Just had to make sure. So there are people above her, but I doubt they would know anything about what the company is doing. They just
Mm.
care that the company is making money.
Yeah. The investors.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, okay. So we have two plans of action that could both be carried out simultaneously. How do we want to handle this? Do we want to settle on one, or do we want to try to do both at once?
I mean, they're separate days. You could do both at the same time. You just have to arrange flight stuff to get you to New York City.
Or possibly find a quicker, less technological way.
I do not have Starry Path.
Yeah, but, like,
You got how many people with wealth?
I was about to say, we do not have Starry Path. Wade looks at his black card.
We have something better. Money.
Also, like, Axis Mundi exists.
Yeah, you
Yes.
could always take those.
Yeah.
I think it would be easier to interact with her directly in a public setting.
Hmm.
Because especially if she's hosting the gala, she can't just like recluse herself once we start asking questions.
Hmm.
And if she's in New York, I promise she will not be hard to find, and it will not be hard to get a hold of whatever we need to.
Maybe if, like, one of us acts as the front person for the gala to ask the questions there. Or if we just observe at the gala
I wonder if
and don't interact.
Sarne is at this moment still far enough removed from Starlight Industries goings on to be that front person.
Like,
Because
Kid is willing to do it.
I was about to say it would probably have to be Kit or Sarne because, well, Olivia could handle. I'm not going to send that. I'm not going to send that message in the text chat.
Hmm.
Yeah, you started typing it and then I did it like, no.
It can't be Wade because, as the CEO, she would know that Carmichael Industries are looking into acquiring them.
Yeah.
Wade can get you into the gala, but somebody else needs to talk to her.
Hmm. I guess the pretense Kit would use would be, at first, seeing if she's interested in helping out with the legal, environmental legal group that he's part of.
Ooh,
And then
asking for funding in a public setting. That's
asking if she's would be willing to show support to such an endeavor.
yup. That's a legitimate strategy that
Yeah.
charitable groups use.
Yep.
That is a very valid way of going about it. Yeah.
However, I will need to crowdsource questions because I, as a player, am not good at talking to people.
Hey, that's why I had Wade bow out because I, as a player, have the same issue.
Yeah.
Okay, so crowdsourcing questions.
You could worry about that when you get there and figure out the other stuff beforehand.
With this
Right.
text chat, if this comes up, Sarne would just go like, "Wait, you can buy an earpiece, right?"
I will ask them if you can find one that fits my ears.
We can get an earpiece made, can't we?
That sounds relatively easy.
absolutely.
Just someone who knows, who is tech savvy and is familiar with denizens.
And
There should be enough people.
if you're aware of one, I'm sure I could scrounge up something money related.
Oh, don't worry about that.
I have a question.
Sure, I might have an answer.
So the cat crew has not met the creator Scion that the dog crew has. Would we be aware of the creator Scion?
Jenny?
Yes.
My fate finding in the other game?
You know that many individuals of varying persuasions, especially because the proprietor has given you what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not gonna say favored treatment, but it's just shortly before favored treatment. At the Midnight Nook, there is like it is a denizen safe space, so there could be scions there, but you have not met Jenny, if I recall
I think I did
correctly.
mention at one point that Olivia goes to the Midnight Nook more for the pastries than for reading.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So we're not even aware of Jenny.
Not immediately. You could always take a look
Okay.
into things if you
Can
want.
And I
we?
know Kit
Alright.
wouldn't be.
How does a twist of fate work again?
Twist of Fate, depending on what you're using for a Twist
Mm-hmm.
of Fate, um, is you get 2 extra dice to your roll. And if you get over the threshold successes, you give a small detail that makes sense within the line of that path. In
Okay.
varying ways. So if you have a guide, it could be something a little more mystical depending on the nature of that guide, or if you're using a title, given that that is your thing, it could be a little more mystical in regards to that as well. But if you're using one of your mundane paths, technically, rules is written, you have to justify it in a mundane way.
Okay.
So like if you have an architect path, it's I got the blueprints to this building and know that there's a secret exit here.
Yes. I would like to tap my International School of Brussels path to try and find a maker space or something of that effect in order to create this equipment in the few days that we have.
A hidden earpiece for a cat? Big old cat ear? Okay.
Big old cat ear piece.
Kit is willing to like be fitted for it.
Thank you. That's the important part as well. Now with this path, I would like to see if we can twist of fate it that the people that I am contacting bring us to Jenny, or like make that connection.
Oh, so she's into weird shit. She'll know what to do for a cat person.
Tie everything together.
Yes.
Okay.
Then you can also fate bind with her.
The Brussels verse.
Need to
So
spend
now-
my legends to make a fate binding.
How does tapping a path work again?
You add 2 dice
So
to
you
the
will
roll.
make a roll, and then you'll add 2 dice to the roll. So really, because you have the ISB Illumina, you could just tap the path and have a place to build it, but that wouldn't necessarily be finding Jenny. The goal here is to find Jenny.
Yes,
So-
the overarching goal that Sarne doesn't even know, is not aware of, is to get in touch with Jenny.
Yeah.
Let's
Sometimes
see.
fate just does that.
We stand
Attribute should
Jenny.
be
Very good creator Scion.
manipulation.
Yeah, it's definitely social. I'm just trying to figure out what skill to use here. Because,
I'm thinking academics or
said
technology.
yeah. Could also justify leadership, but if we're looking at academics or technology, I know which ones you're going to grab. So,
True.
yeah, I'll allow those.
Okay, let's go for academics. Dice modifier 2, right?
Yeah. I'll give it a 3 difficulty. Not
3
3 successes.
successes.
Yeah, you made it. It's me to beat it. So there you go. But yeah, so with the 3 successes, they kind of, it takes a little bit. Like obviously, a lot of this stuff is happening as you're in the air, kind of figuring out to give yourself as much time as possible. So as you're kind of reaching through a lot of your connections, trying to find the natural connections, eventually someone says, well, you can use some of the engineering aspects of the school itself. There's people who will be able to make something It just might take some time in regards to some of this, some of these things. But there is a other academic type individual that one of them met. That was, where the hell did she live again? She lived in one of these great huts. I just don't remember which one. But they point you to where Jenny usually
Was it
does
this
her
one?
work, which would be. No, she lived in town proper.
It was this one.
Okay.
I think it was that one, but yeah, I'm not entirely sure.
I remember because she lived in the little purple district. Because we had to go down to find her.
Hmm.
But yeah, so they point you to her, saying that she's not entirely affiliated with the school, but she is a crafting type individual who sometimes comes and uses or asks for things for resources, or they've met her in other similar places of. I'm going to use the word education.
Mhm.
Academics should be the word that I'm using, thinking about it
Hmm.
for some of the
Whichever.
stuff there. Yeah. Yeah. So you can indeed get a hold of Jenny.
In that case, if I get her contact information, I will send her a message. Okay. I've heard that you can make stuff. We are looking for a radio earpiece for specifically a denizen. And we were hoping that you could help us with the creation and the fitting of such a device.
It takes a while for her to get back to you.
Mm-hmm.
Unentirely sure if that's because she's engrossed in something. Maybe she just doesn't, check her phone. Hard to tell, at least in Sarne's case. But eventually, yeah, it's definitely. If this was sent in as an English essay, it would not be graded well. It is one the type of messages that kind of skip over things. Like it's more colloquial would be the way that I would sit there and put it, and it's multiple messages to kind of get the thing across, which would be like, oh yeah, sure, go ahead and come over. Can definitely do that type of thing, stuff like that.
It's okay,
Is
I
Jenny a
retype her.
Zoomer?
No, because I talk like that, and I'm a fucking millennial.
No, I'm just wondering. Nothing
Man.
against Zoomers. Just I forgot how old Jenny is.
She's college graduate at least, so she could be a Zoomer.
Hmm.
Hard to tell.
Fair enough. I'll send the information to Kit and say, hey, we have a contact to help us with this. I will also tag Wade. Like, I can pay for this, but your Amex card might possibly go faster.
I know it will.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I want.
And then I will also ping Olivia in the same message, which like the message is in the group chat, and then ping Olivia is like might be useful to have everyone fitted for one of these.
Okie dokie.
With that in mind, speaking of Olivia, what's Olivia been up to as everyone's kind of getting this stuff together?
Well, it sounds like everyone else has been doing practical and helpful and viable things. And I think instead Olivia's been partying and getting used to drinking like a student does.
Fair
Oh,
enough.
no.
Fair enough.
Within the first week of me being in halls, when I first went to university in the student accommodation,
Mhm.
One of the people in the same dorm as me had to go to the hospital because she had drunk half a bottle of vodka.
Oh.
Yes, that sounds about right.
Yep.
A brief thing. Speaking of people drinking like college students,
Yep.
short form videos that have been that the algorithm was given to me is there's this elder millennial, maybe Gen X type of thing,
Mm.
and he has people who are drinking like straight Everclear pop up on his thing, and he's just like, oh no, these guys don't know what they're doing. This is what's gonna happen. And it just keeps going back and forth between him kind of explaining it and these college age or like regular college age students
These college kids
trying to
will-
drink.
Mhm. These college kids have no idea what they're doing, and they'll soon forget it.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the alcohol.
Called Everclear because it clears out your brain.
Forever.
Or Everclear.
Hey.
The forget me juice.
Yep.
Reading creator
So
next.
Olivia's
Yeah.
been living it up.
Yep.
I gotta ask, what kind of drunk is Olivia?
Hmm.
Does she get drunk?
Cheerful, happy party drunk, I think.
Giggly.
Giggly.
Oh. At a certain point, it gets maniacal.
Mm.
Yep. Cackling the whole night through.
Yep.
All right. Cool. All right. But yeah. So, throughout the aspects of drinking and partying, Olivia gets these messages. Uh, yeah. So, you know what? Let me roll a d4 because I said it was between 2 and 4 days before she leaves. Space 1d4. 3. Okay, perfect. Right in the middle. 3. So yeah. Sarne, after you land, you have 3 days before the gala. She'll leave on the 4th day. Um, so you guys are aware. Do you head straight over after landing? Do you guys head over as a group to go meet Jenny?
I believe.
Or do you...
I believe so.
Go ahead. Okay.
Wade would absolutely do this because it's been a while since the group had gotten together. What with Sarnay gone and him grounded.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I will politely knock at the indicated door.
So you guys all arrive, I'll say around the same time because fate is funny like that, from your various places in Brussels. As you kind of show up and knock, there is but a few seconds of silence and then a lot of crashing noises, mostly like somebody knocking over a couple of things and trying to prevent them from falling, and then the heavy aspect of footfalls from somebody tripping and catching themselves before there's the approaching a door, and then the door opens. If I recall correctly, no one has sent the divine, correct?
think so.
I don't.
Not on this character.
1 second, let me double check.
Don't believe anyone did.
Yeah. Nothing.
So as she opens the door, all of you get a scent of the salt of the sea and different seafoods cooking at once.
Olivia's just, oh, I'm hungry now.
Ah,
While
man.
staring at
Now I want tempura.
Oh, fuck.
But yeah, she goes, are you,
Sarnay.
that's how you say it. Okay, Sarnay.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. I'm Jenny. She, opens the door wide, holds out a hand to shake.
Nice to meet you too. I shake her hand.
It is a very enthusiastic shake.
I'll try and match the enthusiasm.
But she introduces herself to everyone and gives a very similar, enthusiastic handshake to everyone. She is definitely taken aback by Kit, but Kit is not the only non-human Scion that he's met, so it's not a full aspect of shock.
As Kit shakes her hand, he says, "Yes, I'm the inconvenient one."
It's fine. It's a challenge. It's less inconvenience than that. Come in. And while the place is clean, it is definitely disorganized. To give a brief reminder, Jenny is the type of person to kind of work on projects and try to keep everything out, which means that every bit of surface area is used. Whether that's for making things in the kitchen, working and taking apart things in various living spaces, or in her shop in the basement, where she takes you guys down to. On the wall, those of you that are a little bit more noted in such wind and water sports, like wind sailing and things like that, do see kind of a folded board with a sail on it leaning against the wall. I don't think anyone has presence of magic either, so I don't think that applies.
We just don't have things.
We're a far more practical group than the dog crew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the
Or
only
just-
thing that really happens with Kit is he kind of shakes his head to get rid of the sudden urge to knock something off a shelf.
Wade being
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say Wade being the athlete that he is, would probably engage with her about is it parasailing? That's the sport, right?
I think it's windsurfing specifically.
Yeah.
Sailing
okay.
is when
Yeah,
you use
she's a
parachute.
windsurfer. She's not a parasailer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
use parachute for parasailing, I think.
Yeah,
She wants to be a literal windsurfer, where she's riding on air is her goal.
Yes.
But she
talk about that and normal surfing as Wade does engage with sport.
I think Sarne would have held back in that regard, but when Wade brings it up, she will kind of engage in that conversation as well, having wanted to stay a little bit more detached. But
while those three are chatting, Kit looks at Olivia and says, "Are you into any sports?"
Yes.
Okay.
What sport is Olivia into?
All of them.
Whatever lets me talk to a friend.
Kit will just say,
Mhm.
"I'll just wait then."
I have a speciality in sports.
Nice. But yeah, she clears off a space, kind of setting a lot of the things that she's kind of working on. Some of it, those of you who have aspects of technology and academics, can kind of tell some of the equipment that she has, but other aspects of it just doesn't quite make sense. It's bordering on the aspect of mad science. Like, there's a lot of it to you, Wade, that makes sense because you have science, technology, and academics. But then there's just some bits of it in that seem to kind of be more of the religious or occult aspects of things that just kind of make you raise your head a little bit, or raise an eyebrow.
Could I check?
Sure.
To see if there is a Midnight Nook punch card lying around somewhere?
Yes, give me mental culture.
Mental culture, okay.
Yeah.
Mental culture, so cunning, culture. 5 successes?
There's about
Jeez.
4 of them in varying levels of punchness.
Kind of, I pick
None
one
of them
up.
are completed.
I pick one up, kind of compare it to the others. They're like, 5 out of 10 punches on one and then 6 out of 10 on the other. It's like, huh. Olivia, you mentioned the Midnight Nuke, didn't you?
Yes, they do lovely pastries.
I should go there.
Oh yeah, they have a good library too.
They have what now?
uh,
It's a bookstore, right?
Yeah, it is a bookstore. Those of you kind of gives you guys a once over. Definitely looking over at Kid again. Goes, yeah, you guys could probably access the library part, where it's kind of a bigger as one of those TARDIS type things where it's bigger on the inside than it is on the outside.
How many
Kinda little bit in
Scions
the
are
basement.
in this store? And I said Scions captions. Thank you. How many Scions are in this city?
I know of. I know I've met 4 others and a guy that was palling around with them. And I've heard about 2 or 3 others from them. But I haven't met anybody.
Jeez. Is Brussels just like a magnet?
I mean, it is a hub of international business and diplomacy, so it would make sense.
Plus, if certain large events are happening here, it would make sense that fate would work that way.
Yeah.
Oh,
This is probably the
um,
first. This is probably the first thing Kit has said since the sports talk
Hmm.
started up.
So yeah, she kind of pulls out some. So we want an earbud type thing. We want it to be hidden, right? We're not trying to keep this visible.
Yeah,
saying,
that would be
yes.
best.
Yeah.
Okay. She pulls out some calipers and goes, "Okay, this might feel a little weird, and I'll do my best to try to make it as comfortable as possible." She pulls out like some calipers and starts kind of taking measurements and writing things down on a notepad that's got other notes and numbers on it.
It stays entirely still except for his tail, which is just like thumping up and down.
I was just about to
no.
say, Danny, every time Kit's ears get touched, does it do the little like thwip thing?
Yep.
No.
But she works. She works quickly. Take the thing.
I can imagine Jenny having like just taking her phone and making a 3D scan.
Oh, that would be sick.
Yeah, she probably could do that.
She 3D prints a Mission Impossible mask of my face. That would be hilarious.
What is Olivia just sitting there?
I kind of
He's
look
present.
over at Wade and then over at Olivia.
What? I was just watching.
You were
Okay.
okay. Yeah. No, that makes sense. It doesn't, but it makes sense.
Yeah, watching. That is something you would do.
She
Wade is trying to remember if Olivia has blinked once since they got here.
But yeah, what you see from Jenny as she kind of works through things is she's very efficient. As soon as she gets her measurements, she's got the scan, she's got all the things on there to make sure that stuff kind of fits. She sets things going, and she starts pulling out. Like she knows exactly where it's at. She goes like to a drawer, pulls out the drawer, and then just begins kind of pulling out the different components of things that she would need for this. Is there anything anyone would like to talk to Jenny about? Because it appears that she's really good at multitasking.
Olivia will ask if she also goes to the university.
No, not currently. At least not academically speaking. I do go there occasionally for like to use their facilities or to kind of compare notes on occasion. I'm not a student.
Are you freelance or do you like do this professionally? Are we a special case? Like, do you normally just take requests for machines that need making?
Little column A, little column B, kind of depends on what it is. If it's something that's quite simple and somebody's paying a decent amount, I'll get some cash for it. But usually I do it for the challenge of things or new things or do stuff to kind of fuel. And she kind of gestures over towards the wind surfboard and goes to fuel my own personal projects.
Oh, how much should we be paying you?
She kind of puts away or like moves the components off to the side, pulls out another notepad, and then just kind of writes rapidly. Let's see, there's 4 of you. I'll need this much stuff from here, this much stuff from there.
If you have an
And,
hourly rate, and I kind of look over at Wade, double, triple it?
I'm sorry. Just so I understand what's happening,
Mm-hmm.
Chris, are you trying to shaft Wade?
When I not?
Double or triple it? You know, it's actually funny because I was gonna offer her a job. Alright, go for it.
Yeah, she quotes a number. She like I'm not gonna fucking figure out
Yeah,
how
yeah,
much
yeah,
it
yeah,
actually was, but she
Well,
she
3
quotes
is
a number.
fine.
And here's another question, just out of curiosity. Do you want these to communicate with other devices, or do you just want these to communicate with each other?
I think it's
Might be a
best
good. No, go ahead.
if they just communicate with each other for security reasons.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, after we get figure out the components in the make of one, we could probably make another set.
Yeah, I'm
Or we could
She
wondering
just
says
if we
nothing,
can...
but she smirks.
Kid looks at her and says, "Or we could just come back."
Yeah. Like, I had the idea of maybe making sure that you could connect to the network via a phone
Is
or
Discord
something.
shitting the bed?
Oh no, really?
It sounds like it. Yeah. I
Oh,
couldn't get a
shit.
word
I-
of that.
I- Kit's gonna suggest that having phone access to these things would be a very large security issue.
Fair point.
Fair enough.
Olivia will look to what was his name again? What's the sports guy's name again? Wade. She'll just come over, pat him on the shoulder, and say, "Well, you know, if you can't afford to pay for her to do more work, we can handle it."
It's just that thing of like the smile doesn't leave his face, but he kind of has the awkward. I got it.
Wonderful.
But, man, do you offer Johnny a job while you're there, Wade?
Yeah. So I was going to. I thought I'd have to convince her, but yeah, I'm going to use my philanthropy, and I'm gonna see if I can offer her a job with Carmichael Technical. Wendy's always looking for new people. I mean, even if she doesn't want the job, like, I'll offer her funding.
The aspect in regards to it is it's definitely it's one of those reactions that's a laugh that seems to come that's not quite it's less malicious than it sounds.
Mm-hmm.
But no, she does not wish for employment with a big corporation like that. She prefers the way that she's got things now. But
It was worth the
I take
effort.
the funding as a freelance agent.
if you're going to pay for her to have things, well, then yeah, she'll take that. But hey, for her, that's free money. That's. But she's not going to. She does not want a aspect of employment there, which is nothing against Wade.
If the Carmichaels couldn't take no as an answer, they wouldn't be any different than any other CEO.
But yeah. So yeah, as she kind of sits there and finishes getting measurements, writes down some different aspects of notes, make sure that they can only communicate with each other. She kind of puts things on there, goes, so when do you need these by?
A week.
What? It was a week? I thought it was like 2 or 3 days.
Less, yeah.
Was it 2 or 3 days? I thought the gala was like in a week.
The gala's in 3 days.
Oh, we need them in 2 days.
However, if that's not possible, then that's fine. Could always wait until New
It
York.
would be nice to have them, yeah.
Okay, time for Jenny to make rolls.
Just imagining she's like doing math in her head of like how many all-nighters she's gonna have to pull.
Oh, she could go for 72 hours. Easy. There's a creator knack called We Go All Night. When working on a creative project, you can work without ceasing for a number of days, equal to your creator knack skill. After this period, you must rest for a day before... Oh, so you can go for longer than that because it's creator knack skill. My bad. You must rest for a day before resuming your work. So she can go 5 days without rest.
Jeez.
Don't do that.
And yes, should know.
It's magic. It's fine.
Oh no.
There are a fair number of knacks and other things that let you skip resting for a bit.
And Olivia has
if
all
she
of
needs
them.
help, I am a licensed medical doctor.
Okay. So, what do we feel spending a creative project? I don't have the crafting rules memorized, but they do exist. Begin a creative project, spend momentum, and make a max skill roll. For each success earned on this roll, you decrease the number of time required for the project by 1 unit. Dramatic time, or in-game units, whichever is more important for the game. Okay, cool. So, I'm going to ask you guys, because this is for players.
Mm-hmm.
Can Jenny have a momentum?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes. You can have 3.
3 even.
She only needs one.
It's the normal number.
She only needs it to activate her knack, I think.
Yeah. You say 2 days, she kind of shrugs and says, okay, yeah, no problem. And yeah, she's not going to kick you guys out. She'll sit there and have the conversation, but you see she kind of like pulls out like the plastic soldering iron. She's got a 3D printer making a scale aspect of Kit's ear. She does ask, before she gets that stuff to the left or right to see which one would be more comfortable, and kind of gets that going. But yeah, she's there willing to talk for you guys for however long that you want to stay. Tells you aspects for those of you that are into sports about she wants to She wants to literally wind ride. She kind of wants to share that with people because while she talks about this monkey kid that she met not that long ago that had these really cool shoes, and while they can use some legend in order to kind of fly, she wants to kind of spread that among other people for purposes of flight type of thing and having fun with things along those lines.
I can do that with my bike.
Your bike can fly?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can show you.
The world?
Shining, shimmering, splendid.
Let's go.
Yeah, Wade just heads outside. Wade does not partake in this reference.
I need a momentum for this.
He has not seen this movie. That's fine, you can have it.
Alright, I'm adding that to the list of friend things that everybody needs to do. Yes, it exists.
Mm-hmm.
Grandpa wasn't a fan of Disney films.
It is not overcast, is it? Evens. Always.
It is overcast. It's not raining. It is
Okay.
overcast.
I guess I'll have to stay close to the roofs of the buildings then. This one does not like rain or any kind of moisture, to be fair. Who wants to go first?
Dibs.
Okay. I give Olivia a spare helmet. I tell you to hold on tight. I start the motor. I drive for about 10-20 meters on the tarmac.
Mhm.
And then I slowly start to ascend.
Yeah. As you kind of do that, Jenny definitely kind of observes it, makes a few notes. It is definitely the aspect of kind of not quite. It's a face of contemplation because momentum is one of those weird in between things in regards to fuel sources.
That is true.
I'm thinking the whole time you're flying, Olivia is singing I Can Show You the World.
That gets old very quickly.
Gets louder.
Yep. Eventually,
I don't know what it goes off of. She's pretty decent at singing.
Oh no, she's great. It's just this is not the first time that Sarnaya has heard it in relation to her bike. And so I land back in front of Jenny's domicile.
My turn.
Okay, Olivia, I'll need that helmet. Or rather, Wade.
It's written on it before. I know somebody's written on the motor.
It
was
has, but I
Kit's.
think we stayed on the ground.
Yeah.
Also, Kit's like, I'm fine, thanks.
Okay. Yeah, Sarna is not going to push that. Like, she is very aware that some people do not like heights.
It's not so much
She's had
heights, it's
friends behind her.
Kiss is looking at this thing like, that is not meant to be flying.
That thing
Also-
looks back at you and is like, mind your business.
Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it. I can talk to animals, I can ask it.
Sarnay's cat is kind of just sitting there.
Oh, Sarna's, the Great Murkan has been, like, whilst doing all of these rides has continuously been in this saddle bags.
But yeah, after the first ride through, Jenny does kind of nod. It seems that she got the notes that she wants, and then says, "You guys are welcome to stay as long as you want. This is where stuff is. If you want to sit there and do that, I'm gonna go get to work," and heads back inside.
Okay. I land back at the spot. I kind of glance over to Wade. I'm like, you okay?
This is great.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get one of these? How did you get one of these?
Do you want to spend a couple days every few months over at a ranch in Mongolia? Because I can probably arrange something.
Or you
Also
could ask
spend
your divine
25
patron
experience
very
points.
or you could ask your divine patron very nicely.
Because this is a 5-dot birthright.
That specific form of it's 5 dots, yes.
It has enhancement. It has 2 purviews. It had a motive. It has 2 knacks.
Jeez!
It's modified. We worked with it.
Spike, that is amazing. Jesus.
And it has the flaw to be less reliant when submerged in water. This includes flying through clouds. That's why I asked. And once per arc, I gain the paying tribute condition.
Yep.
Seeing how I don't have the experience for a 5-dot.
Neither do I.
Wade is going to hear. He's going to be excited at the thought of horse and Mongolia, but kind of just like, oh, ranch.
Mm-hmm. Putting the wind horse on, a safe place of tarmac. She locks it, pulls Mur out of the saddlebag and kind of holds it like, I wonder, and I think Elrins, you have the choice here.
Mm-hmm.
Is the Great Murkhan comfortable with me holding him up, like, just below the shoulders?
Great Mare Khan is not a cat that particularly enjoys being held.
Okay, then I will just pick him up and put him on my shoulder, and then walk back in for a moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think with that, Sarnay would probably just make a couple notes and offer some suggestions for, the placement for her own ears. And with that, probably be ready to leave.
Okay.
Yeah, Wade is going to hand Jenny the card for Carmichael Technologies, and well, we already have the estimate. She's going to get paid after she's done anyway. Yeah, and he's also going to be ready to head out.
Okay.
Olivia's gonna ask for her number and want to hang out sometime to party.
Yeah, she'll
I have
give
recently
you
been
her number.
introduced to this thing called alcohol, and it is fun.
Oh no.
It can be.
It just quietly says, "I'm not allowed that."
That's a shame. Yeah.
Don't let me sick.
Yeah. Make us sick in high quantities too.
No, like really, really sick.
Fair. I think it'll just take us a lot more to get to that point.
Wade just gets 1,000-yard stare as he remembers the chewing out he got for drinking.
Yeah. As you guys depart, is there anything that anyone would like to do before move forward.
I'm gonna look into other names that are going there, like levels of importance and what fields are the people going to this thing are in and stuff like that to see if there's any ulterior motives going on outside of just smooching.
Okay. With your successes from earlier, taking a look into it, there's a few politicians in varying countries. No one high up in the sense of like, I think the word I'm looking for is municipality. Is the type of governments there? Not like big federal works in the capital constantly type of guys, but like the people a couple of steps below that.
Like
Parliamentary
mayor-ish.
figures. A couple of people who've got a little more free time. But yeah,
I
mayors,
forget mayor
governors.
is more of a real job in America than it is in
Yeah.
I have questions about that later.
As for other people, it's primarily a lot of tech individuals. There's a few patent holders, mostly other CEOs, CFOs, stuff like that, figuring out stuff there. So it's definitely a lot of trying to figure out a good way to phrase it because I'm bad with such things. I don't know how to.
That's okay.
It's more. I'm not gonna say like tip of the top. Like these aren't like big billionaires sitting there trying to do things and like high end
Bill Gates isn't
presidents
showing
and
up.
things. Yeah, but like the individuals beneath that, like a lot of people that would be in the equivalent of Silicon Valley and like a few governors or maybe a senator or two, the equivalent thereof in U.S. terms would be kind of what I'm thinking.
Okay. So if stuff like starts going off, it's not gonna be like super a problem.
Mm.
We're not gonna be jumped by Secret Service if we start getting into a fight.
No. Maybe personal bodyguards and other forms
Yeah.
of law enforcement, but not Secret Service.
It's fine.
But yeah, if that is everything with that, about a day and a half later, there's a text from Jenny that says, if you guys can come by and pick up your stuff, it'll be in a box after this. I need to get some rest. Yeah, so you're able to get your things very comfortable, dang near unnoticeable, only communicates with each other. How much do you stress test these things?
I should probably test distance and how well it works through walls, and maybe in a club when there's lots of people about with phones and stuff.
Yeah. Stress testing it as you're kind of going through things. The distance is quite good. You're not going to get from one end of the town to the other because these are kind of more closed circuit than something like close to a walkie-talkie, a high-powered walkie-talkie than like using something like a cellular tower or anything along those lines.
We just need it to cover at least a football field.
Yeah.
Which football field?
European. Those are bigger.
Okay.
I looked it up.
Thank you.
You know, as the ignorant American here, I honestly did not remember the difference for a second there. I honestly thought there's only one football, and then a second later I remembered no, there is. There is
in fact football, and then there is.
There's a reason
Sunday.
that you put American in front of your football.
I mean, I don't. I'm kidding.
And we put association in front of it.
This is true.
There is hand egg and leg ball.
Oh, yes, sorry.
Yay, Lego.
You can, in fact, use the whole leg.
There are two sports, hand and leg. Those are the only sports.
But
So chess is not a
right.
sport? Or is that hand sport?
It's
It's
hand
a hand
sport.
sport. You use your hand.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
So does Sardes sport count as an eye sport?
No, it's a hand
No, it's a
sport.
hand
It's
sport.
also a
You
hand
use,
sport.
you use a hand on the guns.
I got you, Danny. I see what
Yeah.
you're putting.
I was about to say, what about martial arts? And then I was just like, it's both.
That's
Yeah,
both!
that's hand and leg sport.
Depends on the martial art. Some of them are leg sports. Boxing is a hand sport.
Yeah, I play sports. Oh yeah, what kind of sports do you play? Hand sport.
Yep.
But yeah. And testing it through buildings again works really well. Doesn't seem to be much change in the distance. And then as you guys go clubbing one night or like the night before to kind of test it to see between like a lot of the music, a lot of the phones, also very, very good. Very like high quality stuff.
Mm.
But it is kind of a closed what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of closed wavelength in itself. If anyone who'd like to could make a technology roll to attempt to.
I was just about to say Wade would want to check for interference because we wouldn't want like
Mm-hmm.
the connection to get messed up with like the local security or law enforcement. Because
Yeah.
radio waves exist and they're actually a lot harder to account for than people think.
Oh, yeah.
Technology mental, you said?
Yeah, technology mental.
Okay. This is not system navigation.
As you sit there and go through the various spectrums of communication that you're used to, radio waves, light waves, anything along those lines that kind of can carry a signal from one device to another, you cannot identify the frequency or type that these devices use with 3 successes.
Can I try?
Go for it.
And I'm assuming that we're at the same, like we're working on this at the same time.
I imagine
I
you
swear
guys
to
are doing
the
all
gods of
this.
Or successes.
Damn it.
I imagine you guys are doing all this, and Kit's just like, wow, they work good. That's,
Mhm.
Yeah,
that's
they
it.
do work good.
They work okay. Don't need to do anything else.
With 4 successes, you can't identify it because it's not something that it seems to be some kind of wavelength that Jenny has learned to tap into on her own. It does not
Okay.
appear to be on any form of electromagnetic spectrum that you guys are familiar with.
Okay.
That is insane, and
I-
Wade has way more respect for Jenny.
Honestly, I would have expected if it was like a rolling frequency with an encryption method, but like I've brought this to like the ISB tech lab and just went
Just say
over
like,
it with-
yeah, I've just casually invented a new state of matter. Don't worry about it.
This is terrifying.
She literally created a new wavelength spectrum. That's insane.
He's figured out how to tap into a new wavelength spectrum.
Yeah. It's a little different, but still.
You didn't want anyone touching into these things.
With this, and I messaged this in the group chat, but I'll tell Wade like first. Nobody is going to check for whatever frequency this is on, because they cannot fathom that we have this. The only reason for them to look outside of radio waves is if we tell them. So in the group chat, I will just say, this new tech is very secure. I think I figured out somewhat how they work. Happy to tell you in person.
So, to note, a day and she figured out how to do this, and then in a day and a half made 4 devices that could communicate with each other for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Creator science be weird.
That's great.
But yeah.
Wade can only think about how he can rub this in his sister's face.
But you didn't even
Nice
invent
to have your
it.
priorities.
Yeah, but she's gonna be mad that I found somebody who did.
All right.
So, Storytime, I will ask, do we have time for the gala?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you mean to play it out?
Today.
Yes. Probably not to play out the full thing.
Okay.
But maybe we get there and maybe something dramatic happens.
Yeah. So, it's
Yeah,
definitely gonna
put
take
in
some
these
time to get there because I don't remember where the hell it was. Yes. Maybe if I see the name, I'll remember. List of highest points in European countries. I think it was in Germany. I think it was Zugspitze. But I don't recall.
What for?
I know it wasn't that far. Huh? What was that?
What are you looking for?
The mountain that she's on. I think it was Zugspitze,
Oh, the Zoops. Okay. Yeah, that's
if I recall correctly. It sounds right. I think it was
the
in
highest
Germany,
mountain in
but I don't
Germany.
remember. Yeah.
Oh,
Zugspitze. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Which is much more impressive than the highest mountain in the Netherlands.
What
It's more of a
mountain?
hill. It's more of a ditch.
Highest ditch in the Netherlands.
No,
People
to
do
be
not
fair,
want us.
we do have a mountain in the Kingdom of the Netherlands
Uh-huh.
on the other side of the globe.
Uh-huh.
What?
That doesn't fucking count.
It doesn't fucking count.
But yeah, so
Red Ghost, we'll talk later about that particular
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
you've got about got a few about a little over a day to get there. You could get there by vehicle, about 9 hours, or you could fly and cut that about half the time.
Anybody need a new outfit?
Well, I have the
Imagine
shirt. I have the shirt you
always.
made me get last time.
What are you thinking, Wade?
I was just thinking, be real nice if we all showed up in some freshly tailored threads.
True, but do you want us all to look similar? Because if you don't, we might want to go to different tailors.
I mean, we're a team, and I think it'd be neat if we all had a very similar look.
You want
However,
us to
you
have
want
uniforms?
you want me to not look like you so that they don't know that I'm with you.
I did not consider this.
Because we're intending for me to talk to her and you to observe secretly.
I agree with everything that the kid has been saying,
Uh-huh.
but then I also kind of lean into Wade and I say, but what if we have uniforms underneath? our new outfits.
You're a genius
You
and a
want us-
treasure, and I'm writing that down.
You want us to wear matching undies?
No, it's like
Gets it.
a middle layer.
I mean, I do have to have my underwear adjusted for my tail, but I'm not sure if that's relevant to this conversation.
Look, we're all in our each and our every other way supernatural, so
Mhm.
we might as well be a superhero team.
We're not playing 4 colors. What the? No, I'm kidding.
I mean, we could start.
And
Fun genre shift.
And Sarne will glare at anyone who suggests that this is because of her interest in anime.
I guess I was gonna say, I will point out that the coat is magical that I'm wearing, so
Okay,
I
that's fair.
kind of need it for some things.
Yeah, and I might as well want to keep my own leathers on.
It's
Because
the
that's a 4 birthright.
so whatever I wear will probably have to include the coat.
Wade just thinks, fools, you had to wear your relics. I just carry mine around.
Fool, you have to carry your relics. I can just wear them.
You say that Olivia's relics are her body.
Big as a builder.
wins.
I have a coat and a book, and those are my relics.
Yeah, book will be allowed. Coat will be allowed.
I have
Wait.
hat, bike, motorcycle leathers.
I also have an
Weapon.
invisible spirit, but
Oh
it's
yes.
invisible.
Yeah, spirit.
But they're invisible. Hey, wait, how do you plan on getting a baseball bat to a gala?
Mm-hmm.
It is an instrument of my faith.
Okay, so as you guys finish getting your clothes ready, dressing up in your fancy duds in varying forms, which you guys can talk about or decide later, you make it to the gala. Do you guys stagger your entrances to keep the illusion of not being together, or?
I think we should.
Yeah.
I will also
What kind of-
hand over my bow in its case at the coat check, and I will explain the insurance policy that we have on that thing. And that I will not hesitate to sue them into the concrete if they have let anything happen to this.
Are you fishing for a reaction?
No, more of it sounds
Okay.
like you better not.
Okay, of course, of course.
Are you familiar with how certain violinists handle their Stradivariuses?
Oh, yeah.
That is Sarne with her bow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is scary.
Mm-hmm. Also because she is freaking scared to have anything happen to that, because that is something her dad gave her. Not her
Ooh.
uncle or anyone, her dad.
Yeah, Wade will compromise in not having the bat on his person. Someone in his detail will hold on to it. It's getting into the gala. It is literally an instrument of his faith.
Okay. So you're having the detail take it in.
Oh, okay. You know what? Fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Trying to think how to get that pass that off in regards to it, especially without kind of creating a rift in the setting that I've developed, or how I'm approaching the setting rather.
I mean, if it's easier to just leave it, I will, but I've kind of already
Well, it's
stepped in
always
it. I'd
easier to
rather
just
not
leave
pull
it,
my
but if
foot
you'd
out.
rather not, we're gonna try to figure out how to make it work. It's fine.
Oh, by the way, guys, I stepped in it again.
No, it's okay. It's fine.
That's fine. I'm not with him.
I was about to say, like, this doesn't. This just announces who I am. This doesn't announce who I'm with.
Hmm.
Yeah. But yeah. Hmm. This is going to be a mental followers or a social followers check for you to kind of get them to let them be like this is a aspect of this to get them to convince them to let it in because they are a security detail and it's kind of hard to tell somebody no in such a situation with security details, but it's definitely a baseball bat is an odd object. It is a weapon that is not necessarily approved in regards to things. So I'm going to have you make a followers social check. In your birth rates, there's a dice next to followers, so you can roll that and just pick your social attribute.
I cannot invoke a path either. Damn.
You can't
Don't I need legend for that?
to invoke
No.
a path. No, to invoke a title for a feat of scale. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, passive free, but you have a limited number of uses of them.
Yeah, you can only use them like once an arc, right?
What's a session? I believe I'll have to double check.
Oh,
that.
I can use them more than you, but yeah.
I was about to say once a session seems kind of like. Seems like you could break that real quick.
Eh.
It's only 2 extra
I've
dice in a row.
I got a special thing that says I can do them one more time than you guys,
Oh,
because of the Welsh pantheon.
They're about
Yeah.
friendship. I will figure out the stuff with paths sometime this week. But yes, so please make me a follower social check.
okay. Do I just do a normal roll with +5?
So go to your powers.
Right.
You see the little dice next to followers?
Yes.
Click that. Click or do the scroll down and click down to what attribute you'd like to use, and then click roll.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Attributes. Okay. There we go.
Okay. 5 successes.
Nice.
It's easy enough to get them to convince you to sit there and do that. But given the nature of the thing, most of your security detail for reference would be across the room. So you will have to use for the purposes if shit hits the fan, you'll have to use a movement action to go get your bat, or to have somebody come to you to get your bat type of thing.
Mhm.
But yes, you were able to make it in. Is there anything else anyone would like to do as you guys get into the gala?
I'm going to enjoy the little snacks.
Yes, there are plenty of. Oh, go ahead.
Kit is here as a representative of Anisafalon
Hmm.
and is invoking his path protector of nature in order to boost his reputation a bit in order to have legal recourse to be here.
Hmm.
Legal recourse. I'm going to say, since you're using a path, I'm going to sit there and do that to kind of give a general attitude adjustment here. Let's make this a social persuasion check.
Okay.
Point of order. Didn't I already get us invites to the gala? Isn't that what I rolled?
I am doing this for the purpose of ensuring that I get the innate power of order to work on me.
Oh,
Wonderful.
Gotcha. Okay.
I want to be absolutely certain that no one can do anything to me.
Wonderful. I am
It's the
justice.
only person that couldn't buy their way in, so...
Yeah.
I didn't buy my invitation. I earned it.
+1 to diplomacy. That'll work. A spread gives me a bonus from the friendliness aura.
Bonus from the oh yeah, because you do have the your
Center of gravity.
Yeah.
Yes. I think I'll get the bonuses from my lawyer friends, will I?
Access, I think, will work here. Because,
They're a social entourage and they have access and smooth.
I think smooth is kind of what we're looking at here. Let's see what that would do. Chapter.
Because I am presenting
4.
myself as a representative of them.
Birthrights, followers. Improves the attitude by 1. That gives you 1 enhancement as long as they're present and the character is receptive based on the follower's description. Against particularly opposed characters that might worsen the attitude instead. But you are here to get philanthropy. You're not here to accuse them of anything currently.
And also, like, I'm here as a representative of an up-and-coming global, like, environmental protection lawyer firm. So, you know, there's people want to be in their good books, right?
Yeah, it's a complicated relationship for sure. Given how to put given
people want to at least seem like they're on their side.
Yeah, so I'll give you the enhancement for smooth here.
That's 9 successes.
Excellent. Yeah, no, 9 successes. Well enough. You are able to sit there and it's you garner some attention from a lot of the people, but it's not negative attention at this moment in time. It's curiosity, especially because as you've taken a look around, you're the only denizen in attendance.
That's fine. Kids kind of used to that.
Like on the streets of Brussels, it wasn't exactly a horribly common occurrence, but you would see the occasional denizen. You've heard like Juddy talk about other individuals in similar situations, and while Kit is, as you said, used to being the only denizen in attendance at a lot of places, it's definitely one of those things just like, I see, and to kind of note that aside.
Like when you go to one of these things and it's like, oh wow, there's a lot of men here.
Yeah. Oh wow, everyone's white.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Sarnay will feel a little bit awkward in that sense as well. Because she's dressed nice. And unfortunately, she can tell.
But yeah, all things.
Wade went all out.
All things considered, you've got a decent amount of positive attention. Some people coming, approaching you, talking with you, asking the different things that you're seeking to do with such environmental protections, etc. Is there anything that Olivia's doing?
Well, I imagine she is also dressed to the maximum, but she will just generally schmooze with people, allow things to progress, and if Kit's side doesn't go well, she'll try her own.
I do have a
Is there
question
anything?
there,
as the backup.
Olivia. Since Olivia, when she went to meet the diplomat, came with a full princess ball gown.
I wasn't gonna say anything. I was thinking about it really hard though.
What has she come up this time?
Probably like some like recent top model outfit from like the latest fashion show in Paris or something.
Okay.
She's here to look good, not to make the same impression that she was trying to make on your mother.
Walking
true.
in wearing one of those outfits that you only ever see on a runway,
Mm-hmm.
that never actually is worn by a real person
And yet,
Like,
it looks good.
out in the world.
Mm-hmm. On her, it looks amazing.
Absolutely.
I forget,
But,
does Olivia have the I am objectively attractive trait?
She
I
has
believe
both
so.
of them.
hmm
Both. Jeez.
Helen's grace and
Yeah.
striking looks.
Helen's Grace is really good.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
Where is it? Kings
You-
and
you
queens
can-
that start wars for your favor.
You can just like use a beauty thing for free
Uh-huh.
once. Every
Are
like couple
you,
of sessions.
as you are interacting with people, is there anything that you're looking for? Because I do know you have fear made flesh.
Mm.
I mean, Olivia's definitely collecting all of their fears.
Okay, excellent. Good to know. So you do have the enhancement just in general with
Oh,
these
wow.
people.
I'm imagining Alphonse just sitting on your shoulder, holding a little notebook, writing down all their fears.
Don't mind the cat.
So,
I
yeah.
bet some people think the cat is just part of your outfit.
Yeah,
It's like, no,
draped around your neck like a scarf.
it's alive. My goodness, what fashion.
But yes, it's not overly crowded as you guys step in, and the music is that space between quiet and noticeable before, like far before it's
Ambient.
overwhelming. Yeah, it's that good level of ambience. If you sit for a short period in silence, you can't just sit there and listen to the music instead, and you don't have to strain to hear it. But it's a lot of people are standing. There's a decent amount of tables kind of bordering the space or bordering a lot of the space for individuals to go sit down and enjoy a drink or people to sit there and have a conversation over, but a good majority of the individuals here are standing at the moment. Over near a window that kind of frames the night sky at the edge of the mountain where you see a lot of the stars and celestial bodies kind of coming forward is a tall, slender woman in a black dress, light colored hair, uh, slightly darkened skin, kind of sitting there and seems to be commanding most of the attention. Those of you that have seen pictures or have done research into it would recognize this individual as Janine Zimmerman. As the host of the gala, she currently has the majority of individuals around her. But given that it is a little over time, as she kind of looks over, we'll make one quick roll. Did I make it an occult roll or an empathy roll last time? I'm going to call for either occult or empathy. And I'm going to say mental in this case. As you guys kind of scatter through the differences, and she kind of looks over and briefly makes eye contact with most, if not all of you.
Well,
Emotional
Would
fortitude
hide
help?
emotions, intentions as speciality work.
One
Hide
success.
emotions intentions does. She's not doing anything against you, so emotional fortitude won't work here.
Did you say yes or no?
Hiding emotions intentions does. Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
Emotional fortitude does not.
as a denizen with
Mhm.
the animal-headed thing, I am specifically difficult to read.
Okay, it's. I will say
So
it's less
I do get a
reading
plus
her.
one for that.
Yeah,
For
it's
her
less
to read
reading
me.
her. It's reading other. It's reading her at the moment, not her reading you.
Mm,
Okay.
But that is good to know, given.
I'm
future
guessing I
references.
can't turn this into integrity.
No, this would be if
Okay.
this is not an integrity roll.
Okay.
3.
3.
Okay.
In that case, no, you know what? No, you know what? It's the end of the session. I'm going to use momentum, and I'm going to invoke Master of the World.
Mm-hmm.
oh, by the
Because
way,
I
we
need
are at
Okay.
5 momentum instead of 7 because we're with 4 players.
Lies.
What?
What?
2 momentum were spent, and somebody failed a roll. So you're at 7.
No, we
'Cause it's
spent
the
more
momentum.
momentum than that. We spent momentum for Jenny, we spent momentum for my bike.
That's 2, and somebody failed a roll,
And someone
so you get 1 back.
also used momentum on a roll.
No, they use paths.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, just use pass.
Because I remember we started with 10 instead of 8.
I turned it down to 8.
Oh, you already did.
A lot
Okay.
of that stuff that yeah. But anywho, you were saying Wade?
Yeah, Master of the World. I'm just gonna get myself like a enhancement because it says up to 3.
Okay. So briefly describe, because how Master of the World is one of the justification ones.
Okay.
How the environment helps you read this individual.
I'm going to say that given how familiar Wade is with these types of parties, he knows that like something with her is going to be out of tick. She's going to be trying a little too hard to hide, and that makes her easier to read.
I'll give you the enhancement for that.
All right. Here's hoping.
Ooh.
Nope.
Would anyone like to spend momentum?
I'll take 3.
Well, if
Anybody got a problem with that?
Mhm.
anyone,
No,
does
go
that
for
mean
it.
if our frees have failed, surely me or Kit should be the ones rolling momentum?
One of us should roll like a stack of it.
I'll roll 5.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
go for it.
2 more successes, up to 5 successes.
Olivia. Even with Kit, it is kind of hard to sit there and do it because it is the briefest of glances, more that she's kind of registering that you guys are there. Olivia, as you are one of the individuals that interacted with this force and how it kind of manifests, even in the brief glance, you notice that darkness that sat behind those individuals, sitting behind Jane's eyes in the brief moment that you shared there before she continues scanning, before continuing what she was saying. That, I think, is where we shall end things for today. Thank you for joining me. I've been your storyteller this evening, Alvarez. With me playing Kit, I've had Danny Cat.
I'm gonna be so bad at talking to this lady.
You'll be fine.
We're in your ear. It's okay.
Yeah, they're right there.
Oh, I also forgot. Doesn't Kit have the feather? I know somebody's got the feather.
I'll say yes.
I don't remember who does. but I
Because
know someone's
it's
got
been
the-
ages since we stopped keeping track of that.
Hmm. Playing Sarni, I've had Crest Nether.
Sarna's just having a good time. She has no idea what just happened with that CEO.
Playing Wade, I've had Red Ghost.
The fools actually bought that baseball is my religion line.
And playing Olivia, I've had Robo Pirate.
Bye.
You guys have a good one. We'll catch you guys next time. Bye bye.
Take care. And with that, let's bring up some music. Those are some good tunes. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us, and a special thank you to Sunbury and GameZ for the raids. I appreciate you both very, very much. You're really good friends of mine, and I'm really, really glad that I could share this day with you all. Today we are going to be raiding out. Let's see if we have a nice target for that. But it has been really warm, and I've had to step away from the PC during a quieter moment to open up some windows because it is still over 27 degrees outside, and inside as well. So let's see if we can see who to raid. Someone is playing their first game of Pokemon Red and Blue, or Blue. And it is Echo with Quinn. Echotronic and 8-Bit Quinn. We are going to raid Echotronic as they are playing Pokemon Red and Blue, apparently. Given that it is an old Pokemon game, there will be bugs referenced, but they are pixely. With that said, I've been Crestnether, I am Crestnether, and I will be Crestnether for some time. Thank you all so much for being here. Next stream will hopefully be on Friday, when it is less humid and less warm, and I can focus on something with a lot of water, Timberborn. So with that said, I am going to raid out into Echotronic. Echotronic uses he, him pronouns. 8-Bit Quinn use he, him pronouns as well. And we should say hi to the lovely folks there. Yeah, goodbye!